When dealing with a narcissist, one of the most common and confusing experiences is watching them bring up your past mistakes, missteps, or vulnerabilities whenever you try to hold them accountable for their own actions. This tactic, known as deflection, is a hallmark of narcissistic communication, and understanding how it works is essential for protecting your own sense of reality and self-worth. Deflection is the act of shifting attention away from oneself and onto someone or something else. In the context of narcissistic behavior, it's a way for the narcissist to avoid facing responsibility for their actions. Instead of engaging with the issue you've raised, perhaps a broken promise, a hurtful comment, or a pattern of manipulation, they redirect the conversation to your past, dredging up old wounds or mistakes. The goal is simple: to put you on the defensive, to change the subject, and to escape accountability. Imagine you confront a narcissist about a recent lie. Rather than addressing the lie, they might say, "Well, remember when you lied to me last year? You're no better than I am." Suddenly, the focus is no longer on their dishonesty, but on your supposed hypocrisy. You're left scrambling to defend yourself, explain your past, or justify your actions, and the original issue is lost in the shuffle. This tactic is particularly effective because it plays on your empathy and your desire to be fair. Most people, when confronted with their own mistakes, feel compelled to reflect, apologize, or at least acknowledge the pain they may have caused. The narcissist exploits this instinct, using your willingness to own your flaws as a shield against their own accountability. Another variation of this tactic is what's known as whataboutism. When you bring up a concern, the narcissist responds with, "What about the time you did this?" Or, "What about your own behavior?" It's a way of equating their actions with yours, no matter how unrelated or disproportionate the comparison may be. The underlying message is that you have no right to criticize them because you're just as guilty, or perhaps even worse. Sometimes, the narcissist will go a step further, exaggerating or distorting your past actions to make you appear unreasonable or unstable. They might say, "You're always overreacting, just like you did when you accused me of cheating last year. You were wrong then, and you're wrong now." By rewriting history and questioning your judgment, they not only avoid accountability, but also undermine your confidence in your own perceptions. Deflection can also take the form of victim blaming. If you express hurt or disappointment, the narcissist might turn the tables, suggesting that your feelings are the result of your own shortcomings. "If you weren't so sensitive, I wouldn't have to walk on eggshells around you," they might say. Or, "If you hadn't pushed me, I wouldn't have reacted that way." In this way, your legitimate concerns are dismissed, and you're made to feel responsible for their actions. Why do narcissists rely so heavily on deflection? At the core, narcissists have a fragile sense of self and an intense need to protect their self-image. Admitting fault or accepting criticism feels intolerable to them. It threatens the carefully constructed persona they present to the world. By shifting the focus onto your past, they can avoid the discomfort of self-reflection and maintain the illusion of superiority or victimhood. For the person on the receiving end, these tactics can be deeply disorienting. You may find yourself questioning your memory, doubting your feelings, or even apologizing for things that happened long ago, all while the original issue remains unresolved. Over time, this pattern erodes your self-esteem and makes it increasingly difficult to assert your needs or boundaries. So, how can you protect yourself from these deflection tactics? The first step is to recognize them for what they are: a strategy to avoid accountability, not a genuine attempt at resolution. When a narcissist brings up your past, pause and remind yourself of the issue at hand. You might say, "I understand that I've made mistakes, and I'm willing to discuss those at another time. Right now, I'd like to focus on what happened today." By calmly and consistently redirecting the conversation, you can avoid being sidetracked by irrelevant or manipulative arguments. It's also important to set clear boundaries. Let the narcissist know that bringing up unrelated past events is not acceptable, and that you expect to be treated with respect. If they persist, it may be necessary to disengage from the conversation until they're willing to address the current issue. Remember, you are not obligated to defend your entire history every time you raise a concern. Everyone has a past, and acknowledging your own imperfections does not give others a free pass to mistreat you in the present. Healthy relationships are built on mutual accountability, empathy, and respect, not on a constant game of one-upmanship or blame shifting. In some cases, seeking support from trusted friends, family members, or a mental health professional can provide valuable perspective and validation. Talking through your experiences can help you regain confidence in your own perceptions and reinforce your right to set boundaries. Ultimately, understanding the deflection tactics used by narcissists is a powerful tool for reclaiming your voice and your sense of self. By refusing to be drawn into endless debates about your past, you send a clear message. Your feelings matter, your concerns are valid, and you deserve to be heard. The journey toward healthier relationships begins with recognizing manipulation for what it is and choosing every day to stand firm in your truth.